Hello, Gillespie. This is Abhishek Tripathi from Dainik Jagran, India's number one newspaper.
Hi, Abhishek.
Yeah. So I ask you first question. What's the chances of Australia win and why?
I think the chances of Australia winning are pretty good. And the reason I say that, I think, as much as anything, I think home advantage playing in Australia, I think, is a big advantage for Australia. I also believe that the Australian bowling attack is going to cause some problems for the England batting lineup. Um, I certainly believe that this Australian bowling attack is as good as we've had for a long, long, long time in Australia, and I love watching them bowl. I love how they go about it. The three fast bowlers and Nathan Lyon. I think it's a brilliant bowling, well balanced bowling attack. So I think they're going to cause the English batsmen a lot of trouble. And I think the Australian batting lineup, I think they will look to wear down the England bowlers. Anderson and Broad, two of the best bowlers that England have ever produced, are going to have to bowl a lot of overs and bowl very well for England to have an impact.
But do you think about Anderson and Stuart Broad is too old for now?
Age is just a number. I think they're bowling very well and they keep themselves in incredible condition. They look after themselves. They're fit and strong. And look, if they're the best options, then if they're good enough, they're young enough. That's kind of my philosophy on that. I think that the support they get is going to be really important. So the bowlers that bowl with them going to be important. Whoever they go with, it looks like Jack Leach is going to be the spinner. Ollie Robinson is showing glimpses of what he can do as a third seamer. Obviously Mark Wood, Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes could play a really important role for England in this series as well. He's a fine cricketer with both bat and ball.
There is dispute between the two teams. If you have pain issue, then England cricket facing racism issue. Will it be visible even during sledging in the field?
Sorry, can you ask that one again, Abhishek? Sorry, I missed that first bit.
If you have pain issue
Yep,
recently and England have racism issue, so do you
yep.
have seen in the ground in sledging?
Yeah, look, I certainly don't. I know there's been a few issues in our sport in recent times, but I can pretty much guarantee I don't think they will go into. There certainly won't be any dialogue between players on the field referencing these things. I think everyone's just looking forward to the cricket. I think our game, our sport's been battered and bruised a little bit by some off-field things that are going on. I think everyone just wants to focus on the cricket and wants to get some positive stories out there and see some positivity. We all love our cricket. We're obsessed by it. We all love it so much, and we just want to see that brilliant contest out there between bat and ball, between two teams that are striving so hard to represent their countries to the best of their ability. And I think that's what everyone craves. That's what everyone wants. They want to see that great contest. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what these two teams can do. It's been challenging times for our sport. There's no doubt about that. But I think we get on the field, these players go out there and give it their all for their country. And hopefully we can start talking about the great battles that we're seeing on the field. And, the off-field things get are moved away, because we just want to focus on this wonderful cricket and the wonderful sport that we have and the wonderful battles that we see on the field.
On the one hand, due to the old dispute, Pan was removed. On the other hand, Smith, who was convicted in a big dispute, was made the vice captain. Is not this a double character of Australian cricket?
Look, that's not for me to comment or say. Very tricky situations, aren't they? It's not for me to comment, but look, I think obviously seeing Steve Smith, Pat Cummins has made it really clear that Steve Smith is someone he wanted involved in a leadership position under his captaincy. and for him to want that, obviously it's been endorsed by the coach Justin Langer. So if Pat Cummins is keen for that to happen, the team is happy for that to happen, and the coach and the coaching staff are happy for that to happen, then I'm comfortable with that.
What do you think, a fast bowler can be a good captain? And if so, why did Australia get a full-time fast bowler in at first time?
Yeah, Abhishek, it's a great question. And I think the general feeling has been that a fast bowler has so much on his plate in terms of it's a very physically demanding job within cricket to bowl fast. And they need a rest, they need a bit of a break. And I can completely understand that. I know as a fast bowler myself, I certainly don't think I could have done the job justice. I don't believe I could have done that adequately and given the captaincy what it deserves. However, I think Pat Cummins is the type of guy that can do it. And I think what he will need, though, he will be leaning heavily on Steve Smith as vice captain. He will be leaning heavily on the rest of his teammates to help him and support. He's spoken about having a collaborative approach to captaincy, which I think is the right method for him as a fast bowling captain. And I think he's got the personality and he'll have the discipline to do this job and do it very, very well.
The Aces and India-Australia rivalry, how do you rate?
Both wonderful series. I've been fortunate enough, Abhishek, to be involved in wins for Australia against India and England, and also in losses. And the losses hurt, but the wins are brilliant. And it's very hard to split them. Both are different challenges, unique challenges. As Australians growing up, we always wanted to beat England. That was I suppose our oldest rivalry. So we respect that. But I think in the more recent times, that rivalry between Australia and India has just grown and grown and grown. And I was fortunate enough to play in some series against India, both in India and in Australia. And it's some of the toughest cricket I've ever had to play. And I know my teammates who I played with as well would say the same things. Playing, India v Australia, England versus Australia, it is some of the hardest cricket you can ever hope to play, and it tests you as a player. It tests you physically, it tests you mentally, it tests you tactically, and it tests your technique, both bat and ball. Just great rivalries, and you know that you belong, so to speak, on that cricket ground when you can compete and perform against India and against England.
India won last two test series in Australia. What difference do you see in the Indian team before and now?
I think belief. They believe they can beat Australia in Australia, and that's the difference for me. I think that there's a real confidence. It's not arrogance. It's just a confidence, because confidence comes from evidence. And if you know that you prepare well, you train well, you can play against these guys and do well. That evidence gives you confidence, and you can go out there with a confident mindset, confident up here, go out and play. I can compete with these guys and I can be successful against these guys. And that's what I think India have at the moment. And I've watched India play the last little while, under Virat Kohli, there, and Ravi Shastri, who's just finished in his role. I think he brought a lot of belief to that cricket team. And, those guys must be commended for what they did for Indian cricket over the last few years. As a team, as a captain-coach team, they must be commended for the confidence they instilled and the belief they instilled in that group of players.
I think Indian pace bowling attack also improved.
The Indian bowling attack is very good. I think the last 20 years, India are continually unearthing these fine young bowlers and giving them opportunity to play. And again, instilling that confidence in them, instilling that belief in them. And, that can only be a good thing for cricket in India. may not be a good thing for the rest of the world because India is going to beat everyone. But look, it's just all jokes aside. I think we just love seeing good cricketers, come through and thrive. It's fantastic.
My last question to you: this year, you have to this year T20 World Cup in Australia. Looking at the situation of Corona and the policy you have to deal with Corona, do you think it is possible to organize a World Cup in Australia?
I'm really confident that the World Cup in Australia will go ahead and will be very successful. We are, look, I'm not a doctor. We certainly go on health advice and all this sort of stuff, but we expect, as far as we know, that our borders will be open. We've got a high vaccination rate as a country, and hopefully the tournament can go ahead. And fingers crossed.
Thank you. We will meet.
No worries, Abhishek. Thank you.
Thank you.